हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। दोस्तों, मैंने लास्ट वीडियो में आपको इल्यूमिनेशन, हीटिंग और वेल्डिंग टॉपिक पढ़ा दिया है। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल प्रोसेस एंड बैटरीज। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। पहला क्वेश्चन है, वाई आर सेम टाइप्स ऑफ सेल कनेक्टेड इन पैरेलल। सेम टाइप्स ऑफ सेल कनेक्टेड इन पैरेलल, तो इसका क्या हो जाएगा? टू इंक्रीज करंट रेटिंग। पैरेलल में क्या होता है आपका? पैरेलल में देखिए, पैरेलल में वोल्टेज सेम होता है, ठीक है। 1 मिनट। सॉरी, टू इंक्रीज करंट रेटिंग, ठीक है। वाई आर सेम टाइप्स ऑफ सेल कनेक्टेड इन पैरेलल। पैरेलल में वोल्टेज तो सेम रहता है, करंट चेंज होता है, तो करंट, टू इंक्रीज करंट रेटिंग, ठीक है। What is the expression of capacity of battery? Capacity of battery एम्पियर आवर में होता है। Capacity of battery एम्पियर आवर रेटिंग। What is the capacity of a battery which can deliver a current of 20 ampere continuously for 2 hours and 30 minutes? Capacity of battery क्या होगा? Capacity of battery एम्पियर आवर होता है, तो 20 × 2 40 हो जाएगा, ठीक। एंड 2 आवर्स प्लस 30 मिनट भी है ना, तो टोटल को आवर्स में कन्वर्ट कर लेंगे तो 2.5, तो आंसर आ जाएगा 50 एम्पियर आवर। सेल्स आर कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज इन ऑर्डर टू, सीरीज में करंट सेम हो जाता है मेरा, तो सेल्स आर कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज टू इंक्रीज वोल्टेज रेटिंग, टू इंक्रीज वोल्टेज रेटिंग। In the process of refining of materials, the impure metal is made as anode. The impure metal is made as anode. In lead acid type battery, a lead acid type battery consists electrolyte sulfuric acid. A lead acid type battery consists of electrolyte sulfuric acid होता है, sulfuric acid. When a lead acid cell is recharged, anode becomes dark chocolate brown in color, voltage rises, energy is absorbed by the cell. All of the above हो जाएगा। When lead acid cell is recharged, anode becomes dark chocolate brown in color, voltage rises, energy is absorbed by the cell. All. Battery will get warm when we try to send too much current through battery. This is mainly due to internal resistance of battery. Okay. During charging, the specific gravity of electrolyte of lead acid battery increases. During charging, the specific gravity of electrolyte of lead acid battery increases. How to check the specific gravity of your lead acid battery? By hydrometer. How to check the specific gravity of your lead acid battery? By hydrometer. A lead acid battery should not be discharged beyond 1.8 volt. A lead acid battery should not be discharged beyond 1.8 volt. 4 1.5 volt cells are connected in parallel. The output voltage is 1.5 volt. 4 1.5 volt cells are connected in parallel. The output voltage is 1.5 volt. 5 cells each with an EMF of 2 volt and internal resistance of 0.5 ohm are connected in series. The resulting battery will have an EMF of 5 cells सीरीज में कनेक्ट होता है, इसका इंटरनल EMF 2 वोल्ट है और रेसिस्टेंस 0.5 ओम है, तो रिजल्टिंग बैटरी का EMF और रेसिस्टेंस क्या हो जाएगा? तो सीरीज में EMF क्या हो जाएगा? ऐड हो जाएगा, तो 10 वोल्ट हो जाएगा, और रेसिस्टेंस ऐड हो जाएगा तो 0.5 × 5 2.5, ठीक है। करंट इफिशियंसी इन क्रोमियम प्लेटिंग गेज current efficiency in chromium plating is 12 to 15%. 12 to 15%. Current efficiency in chromium plating is 12 to 15%. The process of electrodeposition of metal upon metallic surface is called electroplating. The process of electrodeposition of metal upon metallic surface is called electroplating. A dry chemical reaction needed 19 joule of work to produce 15 coulomb of charge separation between the battery terminals. Find the terminal voltage of battery. terminal voltage of battery क्या हो जाएगा 90 जूल 50 कूलम्ब V बराबर W/Q 6 हो जाएगा, ठीक है। The parameter used for measuring the amount of energy withdrawn from a battery is expressed as depth of discharge. The parameter used for measuring the amount of energy withdrawn from a battery is expressed as depth of discharge. Which of the following is not an element of electrochemical cell? Thermocouple. Not an element of electrochemical cell? Thermocouple. Which of the following is a demerit of nickel cadmium battery? Low energy density. Which of the following is a demerit of nickel cadmium battery? Low energy density. Which of the following is used for thin film deposition? Chemical vapor deposition. Which of the following is used for thin film deposition? Chemical vapor deposition. A battery is a combination of chemical cell. A battery is a combination of chemical cell. Positive electrode in a volta cell is copper. Positive electrode in a volta cell is copper. Negative electrode of dry cell is made of zinc. Negative electrode of dry cell is made of zinc. Which is secondary cell? Secondary cell lead acid cell. Secondary cell lead acid cell. Negative plate of lead acid cell, spongy lead. Negative plate of lead acid cell, spongy lead. A specific gravity of a fully charged lead acid cell is approximately 1.21. A specific gravity of a fully charged lead acid cell is approximately 1.21. In series grouping of cell, the current delivered to load is I बराबर V/R होता है, तो E/R प्लस NE A होगा, ठीक है। On application of heat on electrolyte, it exhibit negative temperature coefficient. On application of heat on electrolyte, it exhibit negative temperature coefficient. 5 cells are connected in series in a row and then 4 such rows are connected in parallel. 5 are connected in series and then 4 rows are connected in parallel. Feed the current to a resistive load of 1.25 ohm. Current to a resistive ohm. Each cell has EMF दिया हुआ 1.5 with internal resistance 0.2. The current through the load will be 5 cell series or each of EMF 1.5, resistance 0.2 and 4 such are connected in parallel. तो टोटल वोल्टेज कितना हो जाएगा? पहले 5 सीरीज में है तो 7.5, ठीक है, और रेसिस्टेंस हो जाएगा 1 ओम, ठीक है, 1 ओम। अभी 7.5 का 4 रो सीरीज में कनेक्टेड है, पैरेलल में कनेक्टेड है, ठीक है। तो पैरेलल में तो वोल्टेज सेम ही रहेगा, तो 7.5 वोल्ट हो जाएगा और रेसिस्टेंस हो जाएगा कितना? 1 ओम था ना, तो 4 रो है ना, तो 1/4 हो जाएगा, ठीक है। 1/4 रेसिस्टेंस 1/4 वोल्टेज 7.5, तो निकालना क्या? करंट I बराबर V/R यानी 7.5 × 4 हो जाएगा, 7.5 × 4। क्या किए हम? कुछ गड़बड़ किए क्या? रेसिस्टेंस 0.2 इंटू 4/4, इतना तो ठीक ही है। अच्छा, और भी रेसिस्टेंस दिया हुआ है ना। हाँ, रेसिस्टिव लोड 1.25 भी तो दिया हुआ है ना, तो ये भी तो ऐड हो जाएगा। 1/4 प्लस हो जाएगा 1.25, यानी 0.25 प्लस 1.25, 1.5 होगा। टोटल रेसिस्टेंस 1.5 और टोटल वोल्टेज है 7.5, तो ठीक है 5 एम्पियर आ जाएगा I बराबर V/R से। ठीक है। 6 सेल ईच ऑफ EMF 2 वोल्ट कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज। 6 सेल सीरीज में कनेक्टेड है, वोल्टेज 2 वोल्ट है, तो वोल्टेज सीरीज में ऐड हो जाएगा, तो 2 का 12 वोल्ट हो जाएगा। The material which is to be electroplated is connected to the terminal of cathode. The material which is to be electroplated is connected to the terminal of cathode. Which of the following process essentially needs direct current electroplating? Direct current electroplating. The voltage supplied by zinc electrolyte cell shown in figure below is approximately 1.5 volt. The voltage supplied by zinc electrolyte cell approximately 1.5 volt. The best indication about the state of charge on lead acid battery is given by specific gravity of electrolyte. The best indication about the state of charge on lead acid battery is given by a specific gravity of electrolyte. A primary cell has an EMF of 1.5 volt. When short circuited, it gives a current of 3 ampere. The internal resistance of cell is internal resistance R बराबर V/I 0.5 ohm. Active material of lead acid cell are lead peroxide, spongy lead, dilute sulfuric acid. Typical potential of lead electrolyte is potential of lead electrolyte minus 0.122. When a lead acid cell is recharged, the hydrogen ion move to cathode and sulfur ion go to anode. The following changes then takes place. At cathode, PbSO4 plus H2, Pb plus H2SO4. At anode, PbSO4 plus 2H2O, PbO2 plus 2H2SO4. Which one of the following law deals with electrolyte? Faraday's law. Electrolyte, Faraday's law. How much of copper will be liberated during electrolysis when 2 coulomb charge is passed through it? Assume the ECO of copper is 9.8 milligram per degree Celsius, 19.6 mg. What is the color of positive plate of lead acid battery? What is the color of positive plate of lead acid battery under fully discharged condition? Pure white. Color of positive plate of lead acid battery under fully discharged condition? Pure white. How much of silver will be liberated during electrolysis when 3 coulomb charge is passed through it? Assume EC of silver is 11.13 mg. Will be liberated during electrolysis 13.39 mg. कूलम दिया हुआ है, जेड दिया हुआ है, एम बराबर जेड क्यू, ठीक है। What is the color of negative plate of lead acid battery under fully discharged condition? Pure white. Negative plate of lead acid battery under fully discharged condition? Pure white. How much of copper will be liberated during electrolysis when 5 coulomb of charge is passed through it? Assume EC of copper दिया हुआ है 9.8, तो M बराबर जेड क्यू था ना, M बराबर जेड क्यू 9.8 इंटू 5 49. What is the color of positive plate of lead acid battery under charged condition? Charged condition dark chocolate brown. चार्ज कंडीशन डार्क चॉकलेट ब्राउन और फुल्ली डिस्चार्ज कंडीशन प्योर वाइट। ठीक है। मास ऑफ एन आयन लिबरेटेड फ्रॉम एन इलेक्ट्रोड ड्यूरिंग इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू क्वांटिटी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। Mass of an ion liberated from an electrolyte during electrolysis is directly proportional to quantity of electricity. The capacity of a storage battery is expressed as ampere hour it can deliver. The capacity of a storage battery is expressed as ampere hour it can deliver. In an addition cell, the electrolyte used is potassium hydroxide. In an addition cell, the electrolyte used is potassium hydroxide. Which of the following primary cell has lowest voltage mercury? Lowest voltage mercury. Which charging method is preferred to avoid sulfation of battery? Trickle charging. Which charging method is preferred to avoid sulfation of battery? Trickle charging. Why trickle charging of the battery is done? Keep it fresh and fully charged. Why trickle charging of the battery is done? To keep it fresh and fully charged. What is the equation for kilowatt rating calculation in a battery charger using taper method? Kilowatt N into AH 2.25 to 0.225 to 0.8 by 1000 and AH 2.25 0.225 0.8 by 1000. The open circuit voltage of any storage cell depends on which of the following? Open circuit voltage of any storage cell depends on chemical constituents, strength of its electrolyte and temperature. Chemical constituents, strength of electrolytes and temperature. The ratio of output watt hour during discharging to input watt hour during charging of the battery is called energy of battery. The ratio of output watt hour during discharging to input watt hour during charging of a battery is called energy of battery. For a fully charged lead acid battery, the specific gravity of electrolyte is 1.28 to 29. For a fully charged lead acid battery, the specific gravity of electrolyte is 1.28 to 1.29. Which one of the following cell has longest life? Solar cell. Longest life, solar cell. A battery of 80 volt EMF and internal resistance of 2 ohm is to be charged from 200 volt mains. What is the value of series resistance for charging current of 5 ampere? Series resistance निकालना है. Battery of EMF दिया हुआ 80 volt, internal resistance 2 volt and it to be charged from 200 volt mains. What is the value of series resistance for charging current 5 ampere? ठीक है. यहाँ से आपका एक्सटर्नल वोल्टेज V बराबर हो जाएगा, V बराबर I इंटू R प्लस आर एस सी प्लस E. यहाँ देखिए I बराबर हो जाएगा आपका V बाई आर होता है और R रेसिस्टेंस जो है वो 2 ओम प्लस सीरीज रेसिस्टेंस दोनों है और वोल्टेज जो है वो 80 वोल्ट EMF बैटरी का और 200 वोल्ट मेंस का है. तो वोल्टेज सब्सट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा तो V माइनस ई बाई आर प्लस आर एस सी से निकाल लिया है 22 ओम हो जाएगा. The active material of nickel iron battery are nickel hydroxide, 21% solution of KOH, powdered iron and its oxide, all of the above. How many cells, each having an EMF of 1.5 volt and internal resistance of 0.25 ohm, would be required to pass a current of 1.5 ampere through a resistance of 15 ohm? How many cells, each having an EMF of 1.5 volt and internal resistance 0.25 ohm, would be required in series में कितने required होंगे to pass a current of 1.5 ampere through a 15 ohm resistance 15 ohm. तो देखिए इसको कैसे बनाएंगे. मेरा EMF दिया हुआ 1.5 और रेसिस्टेंस दिया हुआ है 0.25 और एक और रेसिस्टेंस है 15 ओम. ठीक है. करंट 1.5 एम्पियर. यहाँ से आई बराबर हो जाता है वी बाई आर. और चूँकि सीरीज में कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो वोल्टेज ऐड होता है, बैटरी वोल्टेज ऐड हो जाएगा तो एन ई बाई और सीरीज रेसिस्टेंस भी ऐड हो जाएगा तो एन ई बाई एन आर जो स्मॉल आर हो जाएगा बैटरी का इंटरनल रेसिस्टेंस प्लस 15 ओम. ठीक है. यहाँ से करंट निकल जाएगा. A 12-volt lead-acid battery used in car contain 6 cell in series. Among the following situation, an electrolysis experiment is stopped and the battery terminal are reversed. Then the rate of liberation of material will remain same. Among the following, which of the particle will experience maximum magnetic force when projected with the same velocity perpendicular to a magnetic field? Li++. The electrochemical equivalent of material depends on nature of material. The difference of potential between two terminals of a cell in an open circuit is called EMF. Difference in potential is called EMF. Before starting electroplating, what action is to be necessarily taken? Before starting electroplating, cleaning is necessarily taken. Cleaning. Next question देखिए. Which of the following relation is correct between electrochemical equivalent and chemical equivalent? Electrochemical and chemical equivalent. EYZ is constant for all element. Internal resistance per cell of lead acid cell is always less than addition cell. Internal resistance per cell of lead acid cell is always less than addition cell. The function of a depolarizer in a carbon zinc cell is that it converts the produced hydrogen into water. The function of depolarizer in a carbon zinc cell is that it converts the produced hydrogen into water. Which of the following statement about the zinc carbon cell is true? The depolarizer mainly contain brown iron core and carbon powder. The depolarizer mainly contain brown iron core and carbon powder. The advantage of nickel iron battery over lead acid battery is that it needs less maintenance. The advantage of nickel iron battery over lead acid battery is that it needs less maintenance. While charging accumulator, one should keep them in a well ventilated space. While charging accumulator, one should keep them in a well ventilated space. Which of the following act as a depolarizer in dry cell? Manganese dioxide. Which of the following act as depolarizer in dry cell? Manganese dioxide. What is the difference between an atom and an ion? Ions are always charged particles while atoms are neutral as a whole. During discharge of a battery, voltage of cell decreases. Which efficiency of battery is more? Ampere hour efficiency. Complete the cell reaction at the positive electrode for lead acid battery. PbO2 plus H2SO4 plus 2H plus 2E. क्या हो जाएगा PbSO4 plus 2H2O. The nominal voltage of lead acid cell is 2 volt. Nominal voltage of lead acid cell is 2 volt. Lead acid cell are rechargeable cell. Lead acid cells are rechargeable cell. In nickel cadmium cell, the electrolyte is a mixture of potassium hydroxide and deionized water. In a nickel cadmium cell, the electrolyte is a mixture of potassium hydroxide and deionized water. By combining a number of cells in series, the voltage of battery pack can be increased. By combining number of cells in series, the voltage increase हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Nickel cadmium battery in the charged state consists of nickel cadmium battery in charged state consists of 83 का हो जाएगा. देखिए, nickel cadmium battery in charged state consists of nickel hydroxide in positive electrode and cadmium in negative electrode. ठीक है. Battery are composed of one or more cell, each containing positive electrode, negative electrode, and separator and electrolyte. Battery are composed of one or more cell, each containing positive electrode, negative electrode, separator, and electrolyte. An electrically insulating material that is used to prevent metallic contact between the positive and negative plate in a cell but permit the flow of ions between the plate is separator. Which of the following statement is true? A nickel cadmium battery is superior as compared to lead acid battery. A nickel cadmium battery is superior as compared to lead acid battery. The nominal voltage of nickel cadmium cell is 1.2 volt. Nominal voltage of nickel cadmium cell is 1.2 volt. Acid contraction is necessarily expressed in terms of specific gravity. Acid contraction is generally expressed in terms of a specific gravity. Batteries operates by converting chemical energy into electrical energy through electrochemical discharge reaction. Batteries operate by converting chemical energy into electrical energy through electrochemical discharge reaction. Usually potassium hydroxide is used as an electrolyte in a nickel cadmium battery. Usually potassium hydroxide is used as an electrolyte in a nickel cadmium battery. Complete the overall cell reaction for a lead acid battery. PbO2 plus Pb plus 2H2SO4. 2 PbSO4 हो जाएगा, इसी में तो है तो यही होगा, plus 2H2O. Cosine battery are used in a car, lead acid battery, car, lead acid battery. Complete the cell reaction at negative electrode for nickel cadmium battery. Cd plus 2H2O. Cd plus 2H2O. Cd और H का whole 2 plus 2E, यही होना चाहिए D93 का DS. The chemical reaction in a nickel cadmium battery or cell is perfectly reversible. The chemical reaction in a nickel cadmium battery or cell is perfectly reversible. The voltage rating for battery is based on number of cells connected in series. The voltage rating for battery is based on number of cells connected in series. The rate of charge of a battery is defined as percentage of its capacity available relative to capacity when it is fully charged. The rate of charge of a battery is defined as percentage of its capacity available relative to capacity when it is fully charged. The sulfuric acid concentration in a lead acid battery becomes highest when cell is fully charged. The sulfuric acid concentration in a lead acid battery becomes high when cell is fully charged. Complete the cell reaction at positive electrode for nickel cadmium battery. 2NiOOH plus 2H2O plus 2E. 2NiOH का whole 2 plus 2OH minus. The electrolyte in lead acid battery is a mixture of sulfuric acid and water. The electrolyte in lead acid battery is a mixture of sulfuric acid and water. Complete the cell reaction at the negative electrode of lead acid battery. Pb plus H2SO4, PbSO4 plus 2H plus 2E. Lead in case of lead acid cell is known as a negative active material. Lead in case of lead acid cell is known as negative active material. Which one of the following must be ensured when two batteries are connected in parallel? They should have same EMF. The ampere hour efficiency of lead acid battery is usually between 90 to 95%. The ampere hour efficiency of lead acid battery is usually between 90 to 95%. During the discharge of a lead acid battery, the terminal voltage drops as there is a drop in discharge rate. During the discharge of lead acid battery, the terminal voltage drops as there is a drop in discharge rate. Which of the following batteries does not require trickle charging? Alkaline cell. Does not require trickle charging? Alkaline cell. During the process of electrolysis, when the same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolyte, the mass of substance deposited is proportional to chemical equivalent. During the process of electrolysis, when the same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolytes, the mass of substance deposited is proportional to chemical equivalent. Which of the following is not true about fuel cell? Need more than two electrode गलत है. Which of the following is not true about fuel cell? Need more than 2 electrode गलत है. सही क्या है? Cost is higher than battery. No recharging is needed. More efficient. Ionization energy of hydrogen atom is ground state. Ionization energy of hydrogen atom in ground state is 13.6 electron volt. EMF of cell depends upon electrolytes and electrode of cell. EMF of cell depends upon electrolytes and electrodes of cell. Which of the following application of electrolysis is not covered under electrodeposition? Electropolishing. In the process of nickel plating of iron article, iron will first be applied with a film of chromium to ensure good quality. In the process of nickel plating of iron article, iron will first be applied with a film of chromium to ensure good quality. Internal resistance of a cell depends upon area of plate. Internal resistance of a cell depends upon area of the plate. Which of the following metal is used in process of galvanization? Zinc. Process of galvanization, zinc. What will happen if a lead acid battery is kept in discharge condition for long time? Plate will become sulfated. Plates will become sulfated. The output voltage of a battery drops from 100 volt with zero load current to 80 volt when load current is 2 ampere. The internal resistance of battery R बराबर क्या हो जाएगा 100 माइनस 2/10, ठीक है ना. 100 माइनस 80/2 R बराबर V/R. V को डिफरेंस कर लेंगे. The EMF of cell does not depend upon size and spacing of electrode. EMF of cell does not depend upon size and spacing of electrode. The plates of secondary cell are buckled due to heavy discharge. The plate of secondary cell are buckled due to heavy discharge. Rated ampere hour capacity of a storage battery is reduced for over discharging. Rated ampere hour capacity of a storage battery is reduced for over discharging. Electroplating is the process of removing one metal from other, covering superior metal over the inferior metal, refining of metal all. Electroplating is the process of all. In electrolytic process, the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Internal resistance of dry cell is 0.2 to 0.4 ohm. Separators are used in lead acid battery to prevent internal short circuiting of battery. Separators are used in lead acid battery to prevent internal short circuiting of battery. The state of charge of nickel cadmium cell is determined by a specific gravity of electrolyte. A multiplate construction is used in a lead acid cell to increase the cell capacity. A multiplate construction is used in lead acid cell to increase the cell capacity. The mass of ion liberated at an electrode is directly proportional to quantity of electricity. The above statement is associated with Faraday's law of electrolysis. In a lead acid battery, the energy is stored in form of chemical energy. What quantity of charge must be delivered by a battery with a potential difference of 100 volt to do 660 joule of work? What quantity of charge must be delivered? चार्ज निकालना है. B बराबर होता है W/Q, तो Q बराबर W/V 110/660 यानी 1/6. उल्टा कर दिए हम. B बराबर W/Q, तो हमको निकालना क्या है यहाँ पे भाट क्वांटिटी ऑफ चार्ज Q निकालना है ना. Q बराबर W/V हो जाएगा. W 660/110 6, ठीक है 6 कूलम्ब. Water is decomposed into hydrogen and oxygen by means of electric current by the method of electrolysis. Water is decomposed into hydrogen and oxygen by means of an electric current by the method of electrolysis. Choose the type of electrochemical cell from the following. Electrochemical cell है galvanic cell और electrolytic cell. Which of the following battery is not rechargeable? Silver oxide battery. Not rechargeable silver oxide battery. Select the example of secondary cell or rechargeable battery. Secondary cell or rechargeable battery: lithium lead acid battery, glass battery, magnesium ion battery. Ampere hour capacity of a battery is increased if discharged at below normal rate. Discharge at below normal rate. ampere hour capacity of a battery is increased if discharged at below normal rate. Battery charging room should be well ventilated because the charging process produces explosive gas. During discharge of a lead acid storage battery, what happens? Acid becomes weaker. During discharge of lead acid battery, acid becomes weaker. The watt-hour efficiency of lead acid cell is 70 to 80%. Commercial lead acid cell has 13 plate. Number of positive plate would be 6. Positive plate 6. 6-volt battery is connected to 300 ohm load. Under this condition, it is rated at 40 ampere hour. How long can it supply current to the load? I बराबर V/R हो जाता है 6/300 यानी 2 × 10⁻² एम्पियर. और हाउ लॉन्ग कैन इट सप्लाई करंट टू लोड? एम्पियर निकल गया और हाउ लॉन्ग यानी आवर निकलना है. एम्पियर आवर 40 दिया हुआ, यहाँ से आवर निकाल लेंगे तो 2000 आ जाएगा. A student connect 4 cell each of EMF 2 volt and internal resistance 0.5 in series तो यानी 10 volt और 2.5 ohm. But thus one cell has internal resistance reversed. This sends current in 2 ohm resistor. This current is, हाँ देखिए क्या किया है, एक रिवर्स में कनेक्ट कर दिया तो करंट कितना आ जाएगा, टोटल वोल्टेज हो जाएगा. तो रिवर्स में है ना, ये दोनों पॉजिटिव है और ये निगेटिव है, यानी कि 6 - 2 4 वोल्ट हो जाएगा. ठीक है. रेसिस्टेंस हो जाएगा, रेसिस्टेंस तो चारों सीरीज में है तो 2.5 + 2 5.5 ओम का 4 है ना, 2 × 5 = 20 0.2 हो जाएगा. 2 + 2 4 ओम. ठीक है. I = V/R से निकाल लेंगे. In figure shown below, each cell EMF is 1 volt and internal resistance 0.1 ohm. Current in the circuit I = V/R 1/0.1 यानी 10. यहाँ 10 होना चाहिए, 10 हो जाएगा. The output of lead acid cell is 2.2 volt. A power lost in the battery if internal resistance of a cell is 0.2 ohm and 10 cell are connected in series. 10 cell series में है तो 0.1 × 10 हो जाएगा 1 ohm हो जाएगा. ठीक है. सीरीज एंड टू फॉर्म अ बैटरी सप्लाइंग करंट 1 एम्पियर है तो पावर निकालना है ना. P = I² हो जाएगा. 1 × 1 वाट हो जाएगा. Ampere hour is the unit for measuring capacity of cell. If M identical cell of EMF V and internal resistance R connected in series, they produce current I = V/R. MV MR plus कनेक्टेड थ्रू करंट, हाँ कैपिटल R भी तो है ना, तो MR + R हो जाएगा. MV/MR + R ये तो होगा. The major drawback of primary cell is that chemical action is not reversible. Charger used to charge the battery of car are pulse charger. बैटरी ऑफ कार के लिए पल्स चार्जर यूज होता है. Which battery are usually single cell with nominal voltage between 1.5 and 3 volt. Separators are thin porous sheet suspended between positive and negative electrode to prevent lead acid type battery from form short circuit. Separators are thin porous sheet suspended between positive and negative electrode to prevent lead acid type battery from short circuit. A 12-volt battery delivering 10 ohm to a load in supplying power 120 P बराबर हो जाता है आई वी आई तो 120 वाट. The condition of battery during charge or discharge can be determined with voltmeter. A lead acid type battery which can be charged for reuse are known as secondary battery or cell. Li2O plus H2O to LiOH. The main advantage of nickel cadmium cell is they have to be fully discharged before recharging because they suffer from a memory effect. The term ampere hour is associated with a storage cell. Ampere hour a storage cell. Thales is not included in battery charging system. Battery charging system inverter include नहीं होता है. What battery is used in electric power station? Electric power station lead acid battery. Electric power station lead acid battery. Petroleum jelly is applied to the terminal of lead acid battery in order to prevent corrosion. Petroleum jelly is applied to the terminal of lead acid battery in order to prevent corrosion. Next है the most common used primary cell is lithium cell. Most common used primary cell is lithium cell. In dry cell, free electrons are released at cathode and anode both. In dry cell, free electrons are released at cathode and anode both. The internal resistance of lead acid cell is mainly due to electrolytes. The internal resistance of lead acid cell is mainly due to electrolyte. The capacity of cell depends upon size of plate and quantity of electrolyte. The capacity of cell depends upon size of plates and quantity of electrolyte. When an organic compound is dissolved in water, the attractive force between the charged atom reduces tremendously and they are separated. This is called ionization. The voltage required to pass the necessary current through an electrolytic cell is of the order of 1 to 2 volt. The voltage required to pass the necessary current through an electrolytic cell is of the order of 1 to 2 volt. Which of the following is the normal cell voltage of lithium low battery? 3.6 volt. During discharging of lead acid cell, the internal voltage decreases with decrease in discharge rate. Catalyst and contact are used in a battery ignition system, vibrators and electric razor. Tungsten use होता है. The ratio of energy obtained from a battery while discharging to energy given to a battery while charging is watt-hour efficiency. In which type of application are carbon electrodes not used? Which type of application carbon electrode not used? GLS lamp. Watt-hour efficiency of battery for UPS varies from 70 to 80%. Watt-hour efficiency of battery for UPS varies from 70 to 80%. What are containers of cell made up of? Container of cell made up of zinc. Which electrode should be used for refining copper? Copper sulfate. As per the table for electrochemical equivalent of elements, the atomic weight of element hydrogen is low. The atomic weight of element hydrogen is low. A lead acid cell is a type of secondary cell. A lead acid cell is a type of secondary cell. कार्बन जिंक सेल इज आल्सो नोन एज लेक्लैंचे सेल। कार्बन जिंक सेल, लेक्लैंचे सेल। तो ये था आज का टॉपिक, इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस एंड स्टोरेज ऑफ बैटरी। ठीक है, ये पूरा क्वेश्चन हो चुका है। हमारा नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है मेरा इकोनॉमिक कंसिडरेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल पावर। चलिए इस वीडियो को मैं यहीं पे ख़त्म करती हूँ। आई होप वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो। अच्छा लगे तो प्लीज़ लाइक एंड शेयर कर दीजिएगा और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा। थैंक यू, बाय बाय।